Hey there, what's going on you guys? I am Jerry and welcome back to the channel, The Chicago Griller. This is the show where I share my favorite recipes, tips, and tricks for the Weber Q series of gas grills. For those of you who are regulars to my channel, you probably know that I prepare a number of dishes on this, the Weber Q Griddle, and it's probably my favorite and top used accessory for the Weber Q. So I thought it would be appropriate to do a quick little review and pumpkin pancake demonstration on this Weber Q Griddle. So let's roll that intro and then we can get started. Hey there again everybody, this is Jerry and welcome to the Chicago Griller. Before we dive into today's topic, I just want to say if you think you're going to enjoy the topic of this video, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button and consider subscribing. All it takes is hitting that red button down below until it turns gray. It really helps out the channel. Anyways, as promised, let's dive into this quick mini review on the Weber Q Griddle. The first thing I want to do is share 3 things that I like about it. And the first thing I like, of course, is that it greatly expands the number of things that you can make on the Weber Q. Obviously, it allows you to prepare things that you can't even prepare on the grates. Things that would fall right through, such as vegetables or scallops, or pancakes, like the pumpkin pancakes that I'm going to demonstrate a little later in the show. Now, somewhat less obviously, the griddle also allows you to prepare dishes that you would otherwise prepare on the grates. It will change the taste and texture of these dishes by creating a solid crust, which will lock in the juice's taste and flavor. The second thing that I like about the Weber Q Griddle is that it is super easy to use and super easy to clean. You see, it is custom shaped and molded so that it simply replaces the grates on one half of your Q grill. Once it's in place, all you need to do is crank up that gas, fire up your grill, and then pile on your food. Cleaning is easy too. All you need to do is bring it over to your sink, rinse it and brush it off like you would any other cast iron cookware, and pat to dry. The third thing that I like about the Weber Q Griddle is that you could use it as a regular griddle on the stovetop. However, if you use it this way, just be careful of the grease holes on the edges so you don't make a mess of your stovetop. Now, there are also 3 things that I dislike about the Weber Q Griddle. None of these are deal breakers per se, but they're definitely things that you need to know if you are in the market for a Q Griddle or already have a Q Griddle. And the first dislike that I have is that it is a pretty small size. When you use a Weber Q Griddle, it cuts the effective cooking size of your grill in half. So in the case of my Q2200, the cooking surface goes from 280 square inches down to only 140 square inches. Now, I know square inches is not a very useful measurement for most of you, so let me describe that in terms of bacon strips. This means you will only fit 4 bacon strips on the grill, 5 if you start cutting them in half. So why can't you just use 2 griddle plates to make a full griddle? Well, Weber's literature says that you can't use 2 griddle plates because it prevents airflow throughout the grill and can cause a dangerous buildup of gas inside the grill. We don't want that. Now, the second thing that I dislike about the Weber Q Griddle is that there is not really an easy place for the grease and juices to run. Sure, there are a couple grease holes in the corners that you could push grease into after cooking, but during cooking, the grease kind of splatters all over the place and can pool underneath your food. So while I typically don't recommend leaner meats while on the grill because fat equals flavor, I think when you use the griddle, you should consider using leaner meats such as turkey, or if using ground beef, use 90-10 ground beef instead. Now, the third thing that I dislike about the Weber Q Griddle is the price. No matter which version of the Weber Q you have, the griddle will run you about $50 US. I think that is a little bit ridiculous for what is essentially a piece of cast iron, and there are alternatives on Amazon for around $30 US, and I actually have experience with these. I have purchased a Q Metal Weber Q Griddle, and it works just fine. It's a piece of cast iron. If you just season it well, clean it and take care of it, it works just as well as the original. So that is my quick little mini review on the Weber Q Griddle. I hope you found that helpful, but I think even more helpful to you guys is a quick little demonstration on pumpkin pancakes. Now it is October here in Chicago, and if you remember a few weeks ago, I showed you all how to roast an ordinary pie pumpkin and turn it into pumpkin puree. So today I am using that puree and have created a batter, and I'm going to show you how to cook that batter on the Weber Q Griddle. Today I am using a homemade pancake batter. Now, so that the next few minutes of this video aren't just of me adding and mixing ingredients, I'll be fast forwarding ahead. If you are interested in the full recipe for this pumpkin pancake batter, check it out in the description below. Regardless if you make your own batter or use a store-bought batter, once it is thoroughly mixed, we are ready for the griddle. And out here on my patio, the Weber Q2000 has been preheated to a medium heat. The griddle has been installed and greased. To cook your pancakes, take a spoonful and dollop it directly onto the griddle. And I am making these, I would say, average size, but as you can see, you rapidly run out of space on this griddle. You'll see here that I will end up fitting 4 pancakes on this griddle at once. I know that I could fit a 5th, but it does get pretty tight, and I'll have leftover batter anyways, so there's no point in kind of cramming it all together. Now we shut the lid and cook each side for about 2 minutes. So after 2 minutes, checking in on our pancakes, we are going to give all these a flip. It should release very easily, and it did, and you see it has a nice solid sear on that first side that was griddle side down. And giving the rest of our pancakes a flip. All of them look good, so we're going to shut the lid and cook for a final 2 minutes. 2 minutes later, for a total of 4 minutes cook time for pancakes, these are ready to come off of the grill. So the recipe that I shared below makes about 7 or 8 pancakes, so after I get all these off, I'm going to go ahead and make another batch. Just be aware that between batches, you should close the lid and let the grill come on back to temperature, because the Weber Q loses a lot of heat when the lid is open. Anyways, pumpkin pancakes are good on their own, but they're even better with some toppings. So I am going to add some sliced banana on top. Whoops, almost lost one. Yeah, that's a good place for it. And then add some chopped walnuts. This adds some nice crunchiness and is very good for you. And finally, of course, you can't have pancakes without some maple syrup. Now, is that an awesome looking breakfast or what? So there you are, a stack of pumpkin pancakes made on a Weber Q griddle. Anyways, that was my mini review sharing 3 things I like and 3 things I dislike about the Weber Q Griddle, as well as a quick demonstration on how to grill up pumpkin pancakes on the grill. Let me know in the comment section down below if you have a Weber Q Griddle or if there's any recipes you'd like me to share on the griddle in the future. If you have the time, definitely check out some of the other videos that I have on the channel that share great recipes that you can make on the griddle. Otherwise, just hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you'll be alerted as to when new content drops. Thank you very much as always for watching me today. I can't wait to see you all again next time. Bye now.